Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, then welcome. I am Serefina, a Pikachu obsessed proud to be dog mom who loves to build in The Sims 4. And if you do like to watch speed builds, then I do of course hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already. And also remember to click on that notification bell so you will get notified whenever I post something new. Now, as for today's speed build, I'm back with another kind of Scandinavian modern home build kind of thing. This time I was really inspired by the Discovery University trailer. I just really wanted to make something for students in Windenburg, but also give townhouses kind of a try, or modern townhouses. Unfortunately, I did not get accepted to the new universities, of course, so I won't be living in this building. But then again, I am already going to an university, and that one is already taking enough of my free time, so it might just be for the better. But as for this build, I did kind of imagine a Norwegian student flat. I mean, I haven't really lived in one, or I don't think I ended up applying for one either. I think I'm always the kind of person that rather loves having my own place and not needing to share common rooms with anyone, so I think I kind of steer away from these kind of builds, but I have seen them quite a lot. But usually they are even bigger than this, of course, and they are supposed to house a lot more people than the 8 Sims that I had in mind for this one. But as for the style of these kind of townhouses, it is still quite Scandinavian, and I kind of had those flats in mind anyway. But the outside is technically very inspired by some modern townhouses that I found on Pinterest. I kind of was curious if there were any good pictures of modern townhouses. And when I found them, I was of course again so inspired to try and build them, and that's kind of why I combined them with a student flat. Now, if you are curious to those pictures that I did get inspired by, I think it were 3 different houses that I kind of combined to my own little thing. Then you should still be able to find them back on my Pinterest page under the, I think I made a panel, and that one is called House Ideas. I'm not sure if I ever remembered to write a Pinterest link in the description, but it is linked to my YouTube account. So usually when you go to someone's main page, in the top you can find links to, I don't know, social medias, and in this case my Pinterest page. And then you can actually go there and see the real pictures and maybe even give it a try yourself. There are a lot of house ideas in that folder, so if it has been a while or I have been searching for more inspiration, then I'm sorry, it might be a little scroll, because I do like to order a lot of house ideas just to always find that little piece of inspiration that I need to kind of kickstart a build. Now, I did of course not really build after a specific floor plan. There were just some details that I liked about some of the houses, and those details I kind of tried to put back in the Sims, like the front side of this house, the wooden panels that I was playing around with. That one is one of those details that I really wanted to try and make, and I am really happy with how it came to be. Now, as for the inside of these townhouses, I made it quite similar, or actually just simply a copy of each other, and I just changed up some of the furniture pieces in the common areas, and then a bit more personalized in the rooms for each student, of course. As for the walls and floorings, those are all the same throughout the whole build, and that was not really me being lazy. I did kind of choose that on purpose. Here in Norway, if you rent an apartment, or at least all of them that I have rented before, most of the times, or at least all of the times I know, you are kind of stuck with the wall colors that you get and the flooring. You are not allowed to change them up or paint the wall or anything. And hanging stuff up on the wall differs from what you have kind of agreed on with your apartment owner or owners. So yeah, I did often still hang stuff up on the wall, but you kind of had to, I don't know, think it through. So I used a lot of small nails and not too many screws and all that, but I was never allowed to paint the walls. And that's kind of why I wanted to do that in these buildings as well. These were kind of made to only rent out and not own, and that's why I just made them similar throughout the entire build. And then I rather choose to, I don't know, spice up the common rooms and the bedrooms for each personality. So the common rooms, I did have more of an college dorm in mind, maybe, I don't know. So the common areas besides the kitchens that were exactly the same, I kind of changed up the furniture pieces there as well, as a kind of idea that, I don't know, the students chose themselves or agreed on together or whatever it kind of came to be throughout the years, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of why I made the girls area and the boys area a bit different. Now, as for the kind of background story for this build, I do kind of imagine that the university, if Windenburg had one, doesn't exist for me right now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna build one, but it could be kind of fun. But yeah, it might be that they have built these student flats to house more students here. Like I said, it's kind of built as in the Norwegian student flats in mind, and as far as I know, those are built not only to house the students, of course, but it isn't very normal, as far as I know, here in Norway to have like dorm rooms at your school building. So you have these flats instead. If that makes any sense, it always seemed to me that, especially in American movies, that people kind of live at their university. I don't know, it doesn't really feel like that for me here. But then again, I am technically going to an university that supports internet courses, and I am literally sitting at home following those courses. So yeah, I don't need to live at an university, I'm living in my own home. So yeah, that's kind of the difference too. But yeah, because I did imagine that someone like the community or the university or whatever, some bigger groups of people or higher, I don't know, since those have built and made those or bought those townhouses, that's kind of why I wanted to make them exactly the same shape and size. And you saw me build just one of them, and then off camera I just decided to quickly copy and paste everything and make it look good and fix all the little bugs. And because they are exactly the same, there was no point of you letting you watch me build it one more time and then make this build video become more than 40 minutes long because of it. So yeah, to save some time, I just showed you one building because they are exactly the same. Even the hallways and the kitchen are technically, or the furnitures in the kitchen, the bathrooms and the hallways are technically the same. Some of the paintings have been changed up a bit. And yeah, that's kind of why. But I also cut out all the bathrooms, besides maybe one. I think I kept the one of the main, or the first house on the main floor. So you can see that, but the same furnitures are kind of copied and pasted to the other bathrooms, and the other bathrooms did just get a modern shower instead, or extra, because the toilets on the main floors are just guest toilets. They don't have a shower or a bathtub. And I also did the balconies off camera, and those are also kind of personalized to the different students, but I did do them off camera as well because there wasn't really a point at showing you. They are all the same again. As for who I imagined lives here, I first of all made the left building, if you are looking from the front. That one is for the boys, or boys only, while the other one is for girls only. You can of course switch this up however you want and change the room to fit your Sims better. But for now, this is how I choose to set it up with random personalities, and I tried to furnish it as best as I could. I didn't really make this build to play with it myself. I mean, I'm never really doing it anyway, but as for this build, if I place it in my save file, I might just empty a room so you could technically move in, but I might just fill it up with a bunch of townies. But then again, if you do want to play in this house, you do need, or these townhouses, then you need to remember that it is kind of expensive, because I did not think about the budget at all. But yeah, the main reason is just to have a nice looking place with a bunch of young adults together as a group of townies. And this ID kind of fitted perfectly for Windenburg, I think. But yeah, since that world is already kind of made for younger Sims, I don't know, I thought it came with a lot of more younger adults since it came with Get Together. But yeah. As for these personalities that I was talking about but forgot about, I made it for 4 boys and 4 girls then. So as for the boys, from kind of the 2nd floor to the 3rd floor, you got 1 room for a sports fan and then a gamer, and then on the top floor you have a science fan and one likes to take a lot of photos. I don't know, it's a bit of the Mochino stuff. I don't know how to pronounce that back, still not. As for the girls, you have one who wants to become an actress or a studying actress or is already an actress, whatever you prefer. And then the other one is an artist. Those are on the 2nd floor. And you got 1 musician and a girl who loves yoga and might be learning for to become a vet. And now that part was a bit harder to show in a room, since I kind of wanted her room to be peaceful as well and kind of show that yoga part, but I was still kind of thinking that she might want to become a vet. But yeah, that's my idea behind it, but you can, I don't know, let her become whatever you want, I guess. And then again, as for the balconies, of course, I tried making them match to the different personalities as well. Of course, imagining that every floor shares the balcony, of course, so I'm pretty sure the yoga one with the musician? No, yeah, I'm already mixing them up. But the yoga one has the yoga mats outside, which kind of could work for multiple girls, and the other one has art supplies on the balcony, and then you have one at the boys' side with sports equipment and one with a gaming table. At first had a chess table, but then I decided to put the chess table in the science boys' room and then place the card table outside as well, since it, yeah, I don't know, it seemed like a fun activity for young people. I did try and place as many different activities around the place. So yeah, there's a lot you can do within those 2 townhouses. And I did just really love how this build ended up being in Windenburg. And I'm kind of looking forward to maybe continue this style here in this area of Windenburg, since this is the more modern part. I have been struggling to find a part or a world in The Sims 4 that kind of fits to modern builds. And I do kind of like this area very much. And maybe I kind of want to make 2 like these kind of townhouses, or 2 more of these kind of townhouses, maybe switch up the looks a tiny bit, and then make him proper townhouses, so not like a dorm room or anything or a sorority house, but make him townhouses for maybe 2 families or something. And I also want to make a more, I don't know, public area in this area that includes maybe a library and a cafe or something. Now I kind of get thinking of maybe making it into an university, who knows. I need to see how the new packs reacts around building universities, if it is possible or not, but then still it would be fun to make a decorative one in that area as well, just to have an excuse to have a library in it and the cafe and something like that. But yeah, I do want to make those modern builds that I want to have in this area fit kind of the young adult vibe that I went for this build. So yeah, not only keep the modern style, but also have the, I don't know, the more fun hangout areas for the young adults, maybe. But I will see what I have time for. As from next week, I will need to start working on designing an app for my exams projects, of course. And that is gonna take quite some time. I do have, I think, 5 weeks, maybe, or 6, 5 or 6 weeks until I have to deliver it. So I do have quite some time to fix it, but I want to get a head start since I do not know how much time it will take to finish it off. I'm actually planning to make something Sims related, but as for right now I will only be making it to just pass the class. But who knows, maybe I will be able to publish it one day. As for right now, I made kind of a pre-design, and that kind of included copyrighted art and logos, or I'm just guessing that it is, because most of the time it is. Which is good enough to just send a prototype to pass your class, but if I want to be able to publish it, then I definitely need to make my either new art or something that, or ask for permission to use the art that I want to use from the Sims team maybe. But for now I'm just only worrying about the design and actually pass. Besides, I don't even know how to publish it myself anyway, or not yet at least. We only learned on how to design an app and make it to a prototype, and that's the only part required for exams. And I do have really much fun making those apps, but it will be fun to see if I actually can make all my ideas happen and that the app actually turns out good. So fingers crossed I can pull that off and actually pass the class. And who knows, maybe it gets out one day, and maybe never. Depends on how the designing process goes. Oh, and before I actually forget to mention it, I did kind of try and keep this a bit pack restricted. I mean, I did still use like 14 packs or something, but yeah, I tried my best. So this time I will try again and remember to place it on the screen. I did forget it in the last video, even though I mentioned it, and then I did write it in the description there, but there should be a picture on the screen right now that tells you or shows you roughly which packs I did end up using for this build. But yeah, as for right now, I don't think I have anything more to mention about this build. I am really looking forward to build with all the new items that will come with Discovery University. I guess that was what it is called. I don't know what it is called anymore. Discovery University, I'm pretty sure it's that. I do hope I have enough time to share at least some builds when the expansion comes out. And if you do have any ideas for builds that I could make with the pack or before, you can always let me know by either commenting on any of my videos or contacting me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. For now, if you do want to download this build, you can find it on the gallery under my username Serefina with 3 A's, or under the hashtag SerefinaYT, but all that info you can find back down in the description as well. My older builds are still under the hashtag YoungWildandFree and will stay there as well, because you cannot change anything up in the gallery unless you take it down and then put it back up again, and that, yeah, is just too much work for me. And yeah, besides that, always remember to have move objects on before placing any of my builds, also for this one, just to be sure nothing gets removed. And I do hope you still like this build and enjoyed this video. And if you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more of my creations, you can always subscribe to my channel or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope I see you next time. Bye bye!
The world from the place beneath the willow, the willow. So many years, too many tears on your pillow, on your pillow. I
are changing fast.
We're lying there on the bed above the sheets. No one's saying a word, but I can feel your heartbeat. I stare into your eyes and you into mine, lying perfectly still, like we are frozen in time. I don't want this to be over, don't want the morning to come. My head upon your shoulder, wishing that you would say, I think you should stay, I think you should stay. I want you to say that it's getting late. I want you to stay, I want you to stay. We were young and no one dared to make the first move. You and me in the night, two souls in the moonlight. I stare into your eyes and you into mine, lying perfectly still, like we have frozen time. I don't want this to be over, don't want the morning to come. My head upon your shoulder, wishing that you would say, I think you should stay, I think you should stay. I want you to say that it's getting late. I want you to stay, I want you to stay. I think you should stay, I think you should stay. I want you to say that it's getting late. I want you to stay, I want you to stay.
Up in a painted cup, I will pour my love from a cloud above. So bright I can see the lights, taking you up and above the blue sky. Tastes good to be drinking all of the honey sweet brew of ours. Up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes from dreams. Up in a painted cup, I will paraglide across the sky. Let flowers and tiny hearts shake scraping a line in the cup of ours. So sweet like a honeybee can buzz around a honey tree. Up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe